Alrighty. I think we just got started. Welcome back again, everybody. Bugi is here. As always, we're going to take a look at exactly what we can do for the time being in Bitcoin as well as in cryptocurrencies. So it's a late episode today. I just wanted to hop over here, as always, to talk with you guys about Bitcoin and everything. But there is a clip from Joe Rogan that I want to actually, listen to over here. So why don't we do that real quick and then start taking a look at the charts.
Hello, friends. I'm making this video to talk about the most regretful and shameful thing that I've ever had to talk about publicly. There's a video that's out that's a compilation of me saying the N-word. It's a video that's made of clips taken out of context of me of 12 years of conversations on my podcast, and it's all smushed together, and it looks fucking horrible, even to me. Now, I know that to most people, there's no context where a white person is ever allowed to say that word, never mind publicly on a podcast. And I agree with that now. I haven't said it in years, but for a long time, when I would bring that word up, like if it would come up in conversation, instead of saying the N-word, I would just say the word. I thought as long as it was in context, people would understand what I was doing. Like that.
So as it seems like right now, as you guys know, this guy, Joe Rogan, has been talking about COVID a lot recently. And then, he got butchered from the mainstream media because he has been talking about, COVID and everything. But it's pretty fascinating right now that how many people he can reach right now. And I recommend you guys to check this out because, not because I support one way or another. It's because there's a lot of shit going on in our media right now. And I think we have the solution to it, which is Bitcoin. And potentially Bitcoin looking products which are decentralized. I mean, you and I both know that Bitcoin is decentralized. So that being the case, when we take a look at the charts, we gotta understand that thing. That's why I wanted to mention that today, because if you ask me, the problem that we are having with the mainstream media in United States is basically people cannot actually understand what freedom of speech is, and they cannot actually interpret that in a way that it is supposed to be. I mean, the reason that we are who we are right now is because of the freedom of speech and because of all the things that took the United States to become who they are today. And what's really more fascinating, if you take a look at the news that we just had today regarding the simple thing, which is Russia and China coming together to make an agreement regarding a 30-year gas deal via NEP pipeline to settle in euros. I mean, why is that happening? If you pay attention to the root cause of this issue, what you come up with is the decentralization. I mean, it's definitely decentralization. The way that we are not decentralized enough is causing us to become who we are today. And that's the root problem to problems that we have all around the world, including in the corrupt governments that we have in the underdeveloped countries. So when you put all the pieces together, it is really benefiting the entire world to have a system where we can decentralize, where the decentralization is actually ruling the entire country. And when we take a look at Bitcoin, that is, one of the most beautiful things regarding Bitcoin. And also all the cryptocurrencies out there that are actually decentralized. So if you pay attention to the network, which is being controlled by the people who actually agree on certain rules, for example, in Bitcoin, everybody agrees on the fact that we are going to have halving events every 4 years and there is nothing we can do to change it, then everything changes. Because we have certain rules that we all accept and not a single power of authority can actually change it. And we all need to we all need to agree on the rules together to make it what it is. Not by selecting one person who's going to determine the rules. And that's what makes a currency powerful, such as Bitcoin. So when you put all the things out there today in this world, it just really makes a ton of sense to have a currency that can actually be controlled by all the participants that are supporting it. And the root cause of what we are seeing in the media right now is we are censoring everybody. So, I mean, we're gonna take a look at the technical analysis side of things today, but you know, before we get into it, I just want to put that out there. So let's take a look at the news that we have today. We have, you know, some people speculating that this bounce that we are having in Bitcoin is not the real one. You know, it could potentially be a fake out, right? A lot of people say that it is going to be a fake out. Some people say that it is not going to be. But the most important thing that you and I can both say today in this video is whether this is a fake out or actually it is a breakout, how you can react to this breakout, because it's already happening. It could be a fake out, it could actually be a real breakout. But the most important thing, how we can all react to it. So when we take a look at the chart over here, one thing that you and I can both agree on is the fact that we have a massive volume that's coming in. We broke this trend line, and we also have been receiving a lot of buying opportunities over here. So when you put all that things together, it tells us this is the time to accumulate. So that being the case, on Sunday, around the Sunday time frame, probably Sunday around like 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, around the time that we will go live tomorrow, I want to mention like the neat picks that I will have, because you want to be able to follow these picks, because this is the only time that we have in our lifetime to actually become a part of something that is bigger than ourselves, to change the entire world. And that's what Bitcoin is all about. It's not about like making you money in the short run. It's not about like getting rich quick. It's not about like, you know, just making a bunch of money. It's bigger than that. You know, even though we will make a lot of money from this, we also want to make sure that we are part of it. And that's the thing that a lot of people misses. And what's really more fascinating to me personally is whoever you are listening to right now, or whoever you are basically following, does not necessarily want the best for you. And that's the sad part about the whole thing. Because if we are honest with each other regarding the Bitcoin ecosystem, we can accomplish a lot of things. And the only reason that we are sitting at the prices that we are sitting at right now, guys, is because of all the leverage that has been built in the system. So even though an exchange can create the best, you know, leverage trading mechanism out there, it's not necessarily the bad thing for the price. It may be the best thing for the institutional investors, but it's not the best thing for an average Joe. So that being the case, we want to basically make sure that we are creating hodlers more than degenerate gamblers, right? That's the most important thing that we want to be able to create, actually, right? So that's what I want to talk about today. Like, that's the real issue that we have. I mentioned this thing to you guys, like, you know, here and there, but that's the root cause. So I don't want anybody to miss out on this wave that's coming up, which we are going to see, because look at this news over here that we have, right? I think my camera is like really shining, so I'm going to turn it off. But look, Ferrari looking at blockchain technology and NFTs, that means CEO. I mean, this is one of the most beautiful things that I've ever heard for a long time now. I mean, you guys got to understand this. Back in 2017, 2018, even the people that you would count as like credible will be calling Bitcoin a scam. I mean, you have seen from Warren Buffett, who is the best investor out there, as many accepts, but he has been calling Bitcoin a scam. You guys know the Charlie Munger. He has called Bitcoin a scam. We have seen a lot of people calling Bitcoin a scam, and we still hear that. And what's really fucking weird is these people are going to have to get into blockchain technology at some point because of the NFTs. You know, Bitcoin is just a seed that we planted back in 2009 to bring people into more freedom. And right now we are seeing the second fruits of it through Ethereum, through AVAX, through Polkadot, through like other blockchains out there. We are seeing a better environment. We are seeing an environment where we can actually integrate these cryptocurrencies into our real life. And once we do that, imagine the world of possibilities that we can accomplish. We can literally solve a lot of problems that are being present in these underdeveloped countries, guys. So that's the bigger part about Bitcoin. The part that really nobody gives a fuck, but that's the most important thing. And you guys got to understand this thing. We have like 42 listeners right now that are listening to us. But I tell you what, all 42 of you, at some point, if you stick with the game, you got to understand one thing. First off, you're still early. Second off, by the time we see the entire world get into the Bitcoin ecosystem, it's not going to look like what it is right now. Maybe this channel is going to grow out to be the biggest channel out there. And we probably, and you and I, both are going to be making a bunch of money and financially free. But also, we got to think about this. We are not only going to make a lot of money, but also we're going to build the next technologies out there. We're going to, at least we're going to become a part of it. And that's the most beautiful thing, because not everything is about money. So we are building on top of a wave that is potentially going to be the biggest wave out there. And it's really hard to convince anybody regarding to it. And you and I can maybe see it because we know AXX, we know Sandbox, we know Decentralized to be skyrocketing in prices, and we have seen it before, and we just seen the first trailer to it. We haven't even seen the real movie yet. We just seen a trailer. And that chart is being proven over here in front of our eyes, and you're still telling me that we should not be becoming a part of this. Look at this chart, guys. I mean, this chart is telling us everything. This is the 2017 top that we saw, and we are still around there. If you divide everything by monetary base, this is the chart that you take a look at. And you know what's really more fascinating? If you divide monetary base, if you divide S&P 500 to monetary base, you see this chart. So all the money printing that you're talking about, the best way to protect you from an inflation is through Bitcoin and through cryptocurrencies, because they are the assets that have an finite supply, at least Bitcoin does, to protect you from inflation. And also, it has a written code behind it. So no Fed, no central government can come out of nowhere and tell you that they are going to print more Bitcoins and they are only going to give those Bitcoins to the people that they know. That's not how it works. There's only 21 million Bitcoins. And it's really hard to convince people regarding it. And I'm not trying to convince anybody, because I know for a fact, as long as we are part of it all together as a community, we're going to make a bunch of money. And that's why I am here. And guys, I gotta be honest over here. If you haven't really bought Bitcoin, if you haven't really get into the cryptocurrency ecosystem, and if you do not follow the right rules, I strongly urge you to do the right thing. Because at the end of the day, if you do the right thing, and if you stick with us in the long run, there is no fucking way in hell you're not gonna make money. And first off, you're not gonna lose money. That's the most important thing. And you wanna make sure the money that you are investing over here is really being managed with a solid strategy. And that's the number one thing. And I hope I am able to help you guys out with that. And that's my life's duty. So that being the case, this is what I wanted to talk about today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash the like, subscribe to the channel, 2 episodes daily. And I will see you guys on another video tomorrow, as always, around 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take it easy for now, everybody.